Hello biology students, and welcome to the 5th video in the circulatory system unit. So in this video, I want to wrap up some loose ends and discuss the last little things we haven't discussed yet. So first, we're going to talk about the lymphatic system, which remember is actually the second branch of the circulatory system that we haven't talked about yet. So up to this point, we've been focusing on the cardiovascular system, which includes the arteries and the heart and the veins and the blood. The lymphatic system now you can think of as a second set of blood vessels called lymph vessels instead of arteries and veins that carry a fluid called lymph instead of blood. And this branch of the circulatory system functions mainly in the immune system. So the lymphatic system, so basically this system exists because in the blood vessels, in the cardiovascular system, we know we have very high pressure in the arteries. And this very high pressure can actually force plasma out of the blood vessels into the surrounding tissue, okay? So what the lymphatic system does is it returns that tissue back to the circulatory system. Basically, it picks up, that should say circulatory system. So basically, these lymphatic vessels pick up the fluid out of the tissue, and then they stay in the lymph vessels, and eventually it makes it back to the arteries and veins. These vessels also carry white blood cells that help to fight infection. Okay, so how this works is that fluid that's now in your cells that shouldn't be there enters the lymphatic capillaries by diffusion. And once that fluid enters the lymph vessels, it's called lymph. Okay, and then from the lymphatic capillaries, it goes to the lymphatic vessels, which are kind of like veins, and then it kind of stays in that system while it's in the lymphatic system. So lymph, that plasma, is filtered through the lymph nodes, which are these little kind of bumps that are full of white blood cells. So that lymph is filtered before being recombined with the blood to kill any bacteria that might be there. And then finally, there are ducts where the lymph enters the cardiovascular system via these ducts. So the second thing I wanted to talk about in this video are different diseases of the circulatory system, and these are only a handful. Of course, there are many more than this. So a cardiovascular disease, which is a phrase you might hear being thrown around, is a disease of either a heart or the blood vessels. Kind of the more well-known ones are heart attacks, and this is basically when, remember we talked about the heart, so the aorta leaves the heart, bringing blood to the whole body. But some of that blood comes back to the heart via the coronary arteries, okay? And these are arteries that actually feed the heart cells. Heart cells can't take blood from the blood that's passing through the heart. It has to come back via the coronary arteries to get the oxygen and nutrients it needs. If I have a blockage in a coronary artery, those heart cells will die, and that's what a heart attack is. Okay, so similarly, a stroke, and I know this is kind of hard to read. Every once in a while, the program I use to make videos messes the slides up quite a bit. So this said, a stroke is a death of the brain tissue due to the blockage of the arteries to the heart, to the head. So here, again, the aorta leaves the heart, and here's my brain up here. I'm going to have an artery that's going to go to the brain. If that artery is blocked, I'm going to have brain cells that will die, and that's a stroke. So you can kind of see that obviously a blockage of any blood vessel is an issue. So when this happens, this is called arteriosclerosis. It's that buildup of plaque in the arteries. You can see here I have a nice healthy artery with plenty of space for the blood to pass through. But if I get plaque to build up, that blood flow is restricted, and if that plaque builds up too much, it will actually be restricted entirely. So we have to kind of treat this. There are many ways to kind of, that are all fairly invasive ways to treat this plaque buildup. One is called angioplasty, which is basically when you stick a catheter in an artery, and it has a little deflated balloon on it, and the balloon gets pumped up, and that kind of forces the plaque to be more compact. So that's one way we could treat this plaque buildup. Another way, sometimes doctors use stents, which is a very similar procedure. Again, you're going to put a catheter right into the artery itself. You're going to pump up your little balloon, but this time there's a little almost like mesh that will stay open when that happens, and that kind of holds the artery open and helps to keep that plaque compressed. Now these stents, obviously because they're going to stay in the artery, have to be sterile. They're coated with medicine to help prevent scar tissue from forming. But these are pretty invasive procedures, but can help save a person's life if needed. The other way we deal with plaque buildup that you might have heard of are called bypass surgeries. And this is kind of a weird idea. It's basically the idea that you take a vein out of your arm or leg, so you remove it, and then you use that vein to create a new pathway around the plaque buildup. So maybe in the heart, maybe I have some plaque buildup right here, so I'll remove a vein from the leg, and I'll literally create a little bypass, like a secondary road. So instead of the blood can't get this way, instead it goes around and goes to where it needs to be. So that's what a bypass surgery is. So that's it for video 5, and I'll see you in the respiratory unit.